Hey friends, Mark Holmes here with my buddy CowboyJobu, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Jobu Sports Report, because without you guys, well, this just doesn't work. Okay guys, this subject has been talked about over and over and over and over again. It's been dissected. It's the chicken versus the egg. And we're talking about Dez Bryant. We all know right now Dez Bryant is a $16.5 million cap hit for this season. The main thought is that the Cowboys won't cut him. The other side of the fence is if you cut him immediately, you get $8 million in cap relief. If you make him a June 1st cut, you're talking about $12.5 million. Clearly, some money the Cowboys could use. Now, Mike Fisher had put it out there that, Dez isn't going anywhere. And, Mike Fisher, I believe in Mike Fisher. He does a lot of great work and stuff. And he said easily what the Cowboys could do is basically write Dez a check for about $11 million right now and prorate it over 3 years to lessen the hit on it and add a voidable year to the contract. And basically the contract is still a wash. And basically will save you about $8 million. Now, that's one of the things they could do. Yes, they could do. But to me, that's just kicking the can down the road. However, if we look at our cap situation right now, we currently have $19.1 million. With that $19.1 million, if we end up franchise tagging DeMarcus Lawrence, and if we do a tender for David Irving, basically that's the end of our cap room. So if you're going to try and be a player in free agency or to re-sign some of our own free agents, you're going to have to make some other moves. That means other players would have to be cut, and there's possibilities that somebody like Orlando Scandrick could go with, you say, about $3.8 million, or Cole Beasley could be about $3.5 million, I believe, or Tyrone Crawford could be $8.5 million contract saving. So there's places you can get money, and you could also restructure other ones like, Travis Frederick. You feel good that he's going to be playing for several more years. You could restructure that one and get $7 million there. So there's other ways of doing it. And what I always try and tell you is be a student of the game. And I had a conversation with somebody who is a Dallas Cowboys insider, okay? And I actually have his number now and can make calls to him from time to time and ask him what the real lowdown is. Try to get him on the show, but he's like, if I do your podcast, then I'm going to have to do everybody's. But he brought a point to me that I hadn't thought about. And that is they more than likely will do what they did with Brandon Carr. They'll let him play on this season with his contract as it is, because Dez Bryant's not going to take a pay cut. And the chances of him taking a pay cut, hypothetically, if you do, here's the problem. Let's say he takes a pay cut. The team doesn't make the playoffs, but he plays a lot better. Then it's going to be, hey, I told you that this was the problem with the team. I took a pay cut, I performed, and we still didn't do jack. So now you've got a player who's pissed off. So you don't want to go ahead and say, Dez, you're going to take a pay cut, and then we're still stuck on stupid. So you let him play this year with the salary he has, just like we did with Brandon Carr. And then if you correct the other things and things don't go, then you look and say, well, hey, we tried. And because the other side of the fence is this. Jarvis Landry, and I may have mispronounced that name if I did, well, I'm a name butcher. Right now has got the franchise tag. But the interesting thing about him, even though he had well over 100 catches, he only averaged like 8.8 per catch. Got a lot of catches, but didn't exactly go downfield. Now, some of that may be that Jay Cutler was his quarterback, but be that as it may, you got to think that Bryce Butler won't be back, especially since he has no locker right now at the Star. Somebody did a tour and told me that in the locker room, did not see Bryce Butler's name on there. So now all of a sudden, Bryce Butler is probably gone. Is not going to be re-signed. There's a chance that you start looking at Ryan Switzer taking over for Cole Beasley. And you got Terrence Williams. You can't let Dez go and possibly those other guys, and then we're stuck in the same situation we were with our secondary. Our secondary last year wasn't exactly, lights out great secondary, but they had experience with the system and experience on the team. You went from those guys to all rookies, and the rookies couldn't stay healthy in the first part of the season. So, excuse me. With that being said, it may be likely that Dez Bryant will be back. So we'll have to wait and see what happens, but the clock is ticking, guys. Free agency starts on March 14th, roughly 3 weeks from now. And we'll see a lot of these guys on our team, whether or not they're going to be re-signed or let go. I'm Mark Holmes. This is Cowboy Jobu, and thank you guys for watching the Jobu Sports Report.
Hey friends, Cowboy Jobu here at the Jobu Report. The Dallas Cowboy fans are elated. The Redskin fans, not so much. How about them Cowboys? What? Wait a minute.
They have the most comfortable hats.
What the fuck? Talk about your confused fans. But who cares? The Dallas Cowboys beat the Washington Redskins for the third time in a row at FedEx. Gotta love it.